opportunity, turns the corner, gets the equalizer. Big hit, how about that?
How do you like that? Stops the first penalty kick he sees.
It's loose in front of the goal cage, and it's put in! Oh my.
She's going to take another shot, and it's into the back of the net.
Once again, Patriot League champions.
Welcome to pregame coverage for the rivalry game here at women's lacrosse, Lafayette-Lehigh, and we look at the starters beginning with Lehigh under head coach Jill Redfern, once upon a time a head coach here in Easton, but now the head coach in Bethlehem, joined by associate head coach Sammy Cermak and assistant coach Allison LeBeau. In goal today will be the sophomore from Elk Ridge, Maryland, Sam Sagey. She's been solid this season for Lehigh as the primary starter. Defensively, she'll be helped out by Alexandra Latta, who has 16 ground balls and 14 calls. Turnovers has also been a factor at the draw this season with the draw unit with 24 draw controls this season. In terms of the ability in attack, Courtney Hennick has been the leader in terms of distributor in her time with the Mountain Hawks this season, though she ranks second on the team with 18 assists. But our impact player today, a midfielder from Paoli, Pennsylvania, in the junior, Sandra Dickey, who is one of the best offensive players, but maybe also one of the best two-way players in the Patriot League. As you see, 43 goals, has done so on 93 shots, but 65 of them on goal, so right about 5 per game in terms of shots on goal this season. Also, though, the 56 draw controls. And although Lehigh has struggled at times this season in terms of winning draw controls, Dickey's been a key factor. And then also of note, 18 caused turnovers. Meanwhile, for Lafayette, led by head coach Allison Fisher and assistants Anna White and Eric Clakeley, they have the following starting 12 in the lineup today. In goal, Quinn Lacey. The Leopards have struggled a bit over the last 3 games in terms of getting stops defensively, but they began the season over 50% through the first 11 games in terms of save percentage, and Lacey a big factor doing just that. Also of note, you have the solid 4 in the back line: Lily Bedell, Annalise Kinney, Amelia Heisler, and Elise Ashford, but Dulcie Del Priore is going to have a big factor. Most likely will be face guarding the impact player for Lehigh in Sandra Dickey. Caroline Colonel coming off a great game at the draw circle with 11 draw controls, but our impact player today, Emma Novick. And Novick has been great this season, not just in her ability to score in volume, but the consistency. She's had a multi-goal game every game this season, but right now a 5-game hat-trick streak. Ranks second on the team with the 35 goals and has done a lot of that in terms of just driving, as you see here with the highlights, inside the critical scoring area to the doorstep. She's going to be a player who the Leopards will try to rely upon, especially if Lehigh will try to do what Loyola did Saturday, and that is face guard Jane Kirby. So if things end up being cluttered a bit for number 15, number 28 will be the player that will be most relied upon for the Leopards. We'll head off to a quick break. When we come back, we'll get you the opening draw between Lafayette and Lehigh. Stay tuned. The Pards are out on the field. The starting 12 huddling up one more time before they head to their respective positions, as this more or less a must-win game for these two sides if they want to remain in the hunt for the Patriot League tournament. Lafayette in the home white today. Jerseys and shorts with the maroon numbering, and the Lafayette stylized in caps across the chest. The visiting Mountain Hawks from Lehigh making the trip from Bethlehem in brown today. Jerseys and shorts with the white numbering, and Lehigh in caps across the chest. There you see the starting keeper, Quinn Lacey. Bit of struggles as of late for the defensive unit, 22.72 save percentage over the last 3, but they were stellar over the first 11, and in fact, about 4 or 5 games through, they were number 1 in the nation in save percentage. So Lafayette trying to get back to that defensively. Lehigh, they're trying to do what they've done as of late, and that's win 10 of the last 11 matchups against their rival. We're at the draw circle. Caroline Colonel in the draw circle for Lafayette. Colleen Bannon trying to help out on the far wing, and a foul called to get things started off. We'll have possession go to Lafayette. So we thank you so much for tuning in this evening from Easton, Pennsylvania. Overcast skies on this Wednesday evening. Game time temperature 58 degrees, but we don't expect precipitation Should be a nice evening for lacrosse here in mid-April. And down towards the home stretch, just 2 Patriot League games for each side after this one. Here's Anna Stein. From goal line extended, passes it to the near wing. Jane Kirby turns the Jets on. Setting up some space, not for a roll, but a pass. 40 seconds into the shot clock. Colonel, nice pump. The pivot, the shot, that's wide. Had a little cut there to free the hands. Leopards will back it up and resume action. Pass goes up top. Stein loses a handle, but a foul called before that. And so as the clock stops, 26 on the shot clock, 1 minute 16 seconds in, and Anna Stein will have Lafayette's first 8-meter opportunity of the game. Right up the middle as well. A sophomore from Connecticut, from Darien, takes the shot. Rebound opportunity, and that's through. The heads-up play by Hannah Davey makes it 1-0 Lafayette. Davey did not score in Saturday's loss against Loyola, but she was ready right there. Got to her spot that was needed to back up any sort of rebound opportunity. And it's the 24th goal of the season for Hannah Davey. Senior from Avon, Connecticut, has been such a versatile player in her 4 seasons with the Leopards. And she's ready to head out for the draw unit to try to make it back-to-back possessions for the Leopards. Lafayette's been really strong at the draw circle. Lehigh has struggled, but Sandra Dickey, our impact player, had a really good game a few games ago against Army West Point, where she had 6 goals, 2 assists, 2 ground balls, 2 calls turnovers, but 10 draw controls against an Army team that was among the best in the nation coming in draw control percentage. Lafayette, though, controls the draw 2 out of 2 times, quickly into attack again. That Colonel had 11 draw controls against Loyola. Good unit at the draw circle, too. Did that on Saturday. And that might be the motivation that this unit needs to really ramp up some runs by scoring and winning draws right after. From the near wing, Caroline Colonel, the freshman, tries to get the hands free, but didn't have enough space to shoot. Instead, she passes. Past the goal line extended here. Nice roll by Olivia Cunningham. The patience and the finish make it 2-0 Lafayette. As Olivia Cunningham, coming off her first career hat trick, gets one early here. But what she did so well, the freshman remained patient in attack and able to beat Sam Sagey for the goal. Cunningham, a freshman from Episcopal Academy, really starting to round into form as of late. And this is generally the time of the season where freshmen no longer act like freshmen. They start having that comfort level with the season, and you see their goal number 12 of the year for Cunningham. So 2 possessions, 4 shots, 2 goals by the Leopards. The Lafayette bench chanting for Caroline Colonel. And she helps out another draw control. And this is going to be the challenge for Lehigh over the first 13 games this season. They are minus 38 in the draw circle. So that's just about a -3 margin per game. And it's already a -3 start for them. Lafayette quickly into attack. The Leopards entering the game plus 17 through 14 games. So a little bit more than a 1 draw control advantage. As the pass there off the mark, gets back towards the restraining line. 2 Mountain Hawks are there. And the Leopards fortunate to draw a foul. But if they could have connected on that pass, there would have been an open lane to the doorstep, I believe, for Hannah Davey. So you try to work that play again if you can offensively. 3 and change into this game, and so far, possession exclusive to the home half. Lafayette lost last year to Lehigh and Bethlehem by a 12-6 score. Roll and a one-hopper shot by Cunningham, no good. A bit of a heavy carom on the rebound, but eventually picked up by Lehigh, and they have their first possession coming up. But that's been the struggle for Lafayette in the last 11 seasons against Lehigh, as the scoring volume, as you see the one-hopper shot just enough by Seiji. Here, though, Lafayette on the ride, creates a turnover. Novick continues forward and tosses it to X. Cunningham will toss it up top near wing. But in each of the last 11 games, Lafayette has scored no more than 11 goals. That includes 6 or fewer in 6 games. So they want to make sure that they control possession here, play their tempo, and hey, if you get to a dozen, that's going to help your odds of winning. Colleen Bannon gets by her defender, enough to get the hands free, but a foul before the shot. So a bit more on a tougher angle from one of those far hashes at the 8-meter arc for Bannon, who played club ball with Anna Stein. We have a few Connecticut natives on this Lafayette side. As a pass to Colonel leads to another foul. Colonel, another one of those Connecticut natives. Emma Novick, Hannah Davey we've mentioned. Amelia Heisler. Some of the key players from up north. Colonel from up the middle tries to get the shot off, but nice defense by Lehigh, and they create the turnover. Pass, though, a bit off the mark. It's going to have to be scooped up, and it is on the run right around midfield. And you see the defense there from number 4, Mary Ellen Karen, who has 18 ground balls and 13 calls turnovers, also 10 goals, so gets it done both ways. And Lehigh with its first possession in attack the last time they failed to clear. Pass a little bit in traffic, and a foul is called. Lehigh so far with the first 5 shots of the game. Lehigh not a team that heavily shoots from the 8-meter. We'll see if they try to shoot or pass here. And it'll be a drive forward and a shot that gets through. That's Kelly Goff getting on the board for the Mountain Hawks to make it a 2-1 score. Senior from Edgewater, Maryland. This Lehigh side, 22 free position goals and 56 attempts. There's Goff's 22nd. So not a high volume particularly, but Goff there, tally number 22 overall, 8th via free position, 8 out of 14 with that shot included. Thing, though, that Lehigh does very well is defend the 8-meter. Coming into the game, 26 goals allowed on 75 opponent free position attempts. So we've seen goals from Davey and Cunningham by Lafayette, Goff by Lehigh, and another draw control coming up here with Lehigh still searching for their first of the game. Colonel nearly caught it cleanly, but swatted it to open space, and she grabs yet another draw control. So Lafayette quickly back into attack, 4 of 4 drawing so far. Anna Stein behind goal line extended. The primary distributor for this Lafayette side. Rolls to get a little bit of space, but not enough to make a pass, so she'll toss it up top. Kirby on the dodge, draws a free position. Stein accounts for 42.2% of Lafayette's assists this season. Part of that, and part of the reason why Lafayette has assists on a generally small percentage of goals, is because of that. The free position shooting, and it's Jane Kirby getting the job done. 4th in the nation in free position goals per game, has one there, and it's 3-1. Career goal 152. She was held without a goal Saturday against Loyola, but really acted as a decoy for the Lafayette attack. There, though, 38th of the season. Kirby and Novick, 2 Leopards that have surpassed the 150 career goal mark. I think if you told Allison Fisher about 4 years ago that in her recruiting class of 2019 that she would have 2 players surpass 150, she'd have a big smile and say, okay, that fits just right. So after a Lehigh free position goal, Lafayette with one of their own, back up by 2. Still a battle for that first draw control for Lehigh. And upon the foul, they'll have just that. Much needed for the Mountain Hawks. Yeah, back to my point about the assist distribution. Now Lafayette, they have assists on 38.8% of non-free position goals. Their opponent's 48%. But a good amount of the Lafayette attack goes through those 8-meter opportunities coming into the game. With 56 free position goals, their opponent's 27. That's 56 out of 172. Good work by Quinn Lacey to make the save. It's a hustle, though, to the far wing to get the ground ball, and it's Lehigh with a fresh 90. Free positions account for 32.6% of Lafayette's goals this season, by the way, in case you were curious. But here Lehigh with possession in attack. Right now they're just taking up some time. A 12-8 winner on Saturday against the Crusaders, a team that came in here and defeated Lafayette 11-10. Pass is a bit high off the mark and out of bounds, so Lafayette will look to clear. Leopards nearly came back against the Crusaders but lost. Would think that that built some confidence for Lehigh coming into this one, but right now, early on, the Leopards taking care of business, and they have another clear. 16th in the nation in clearing percentage. Annalise Kinney's been arguably the biggest factor in transition for the Leopards. Pass is off the mark, but nice hustle by Jane Kirby to get to the spot, but they're going to call a foul against Lafayette. So it's a turnover on the Pards, and Lehigh now looks to clear. I believe that foul occurred off ball, so I missed it. And that is just a second turnover by Lafayette so far, nearly, or a little bit more than 8 minutes into the game. Clear is good for Lehigh. 2 of 3 to start things off clearing. Lafayette 3 of 3. We have yet to see Sandra Dickey involved. Averaging well over 3 goals per game. Top 25 in goals and shots per game in the nation. But face guarded by Dulcie Del Priora, who face guarded Loyola's Livy Rosenzweig, who has previously been on the Tewaaraton watch list among the best players in the nation, top 25. Lafayette trying to rotate here, keep the lane occupied for the shot of entry, though. Here comes a shot that's saved by Quinn Lacey. I believe that was Julianne Puckett on the shot attempt. Lacey with the save, a sophomore from New York. And indeed, that was Puckett with the left-handed effort. But Lacey has a pair of saves early. And looking like the form that Lafayette had early in this season, when at one point Lafayette and the team, or I should say Lacey and the team, Both led the nation in save percentage. Now it's to 38th in the nation at 46.2 coming into the game, but 2 saves so far for Lacey, and Lafayette trying to work this offense, approaching the under 20 in this first half. .35 on the shot clock, so now the Leopards probably trying to set up that play. Stein gets a screen, carries it up top, gives away to Novick. Novick on the drive, attracts extra attention, tries to go back forward, and draws contact on the cut. Well, that was just alert play by Emma Novick on the carry to kind of just trick the defender into obstructing her to set up the 8-meter, and Novick's been really good from this spot. Drives forward, though, losing the handle, and we have another whistle. Looking at the replay here, and I think she was fouled before that ball kind of popped out of the cross. But Novick this season, 11 of 18 for 8-position shooting. She'll try again, cuts, fires, shot blocked. That was knocked down before it got to Seiji, and the Mountain Hawks look to go in transition. Lafayette 13th in the nation, free position shooting. There's a lot of things this Lafayette side has done very well this season. Shot here led to some contact. And so free position coming up now for Lehigh. Yeah, Lafayette top 20 in free position shooting and clear percentage. Dynamic top 2 scorers with Kirby and Novick. Real strong start to the defense and goalkeeping, led by Lacey. Ball on the ground here and a foul. You may wonder why the Leopards are 5-9. Well, it has to do with 3 Patriot League losses by 1 or 2 goals. Just a few plays here or there, and they're arguably at 500 overall and in league play. Lacey unable to make the save. That got through. A late whistle, but that sneaks through to make it 3-2. And we'll have to take a look at the replay here to see which side it snuck through, but Courtney Hennig, the senior from Millstone, New Jersey, gets the goal. That was very nearly a ball placed to the ground on the defensive effort by Annalise Kinney. But Hennig with the lefty finish, just getting it by Quinn Lacey. So now the score 3-2 on the tally from Hennig. 19:09 left to go first half. You're watching the Lafayette Sports Network presented by the Patriot League Network on Stadium.
3, 2, 1. What we've been doing here is evaluating different modes of travel of deer through human beings or through a computer in our driving simulator. We would like to create a harder to avoid obstacle that could then be used to develop better autonomous cars.
How the simulator actually works is you're driving along a road using a virtual reality headset. A deer shows up in the road, you react to it, and that reaction sends signals to 3 or 4 programs into our computer and send signals back into the motors and make you feel as if you're actually accelerating in a real car.
We tested several models of deer against human beings so that over time it will learn how to be as hard to avoid as possible. The data that we're gathering can be used as a benchmark for autonomous car developers to develop avoidance algorithms that could better avoid deer or other animals that are statistically harder to avoid by people.
It's early in this one, nearly 11 minutes in, but Lafayette leading 3-2 against their arch rival Lehigh. Probably the biggest headline early. Lafayette winning 4 of 5 draws thus far. Other than that, it's been quite nip and tuck. So we don't know exactly how this one's going to pan out. But certainly for Lafayette, they want to keep doing what they did to start, and that's handle the draws. Scramble eventually won by Lafayette. Hannah Davey with the draw control. And quickly Lafayette back into attack. Anna Stein with the roll. Tries to drive forward, and maybe a bit of a peculiar call there for the shooting space, because it looked like the Lehigh defender was trying to switch and might have done it a little bit too early to be a dangerous play. That was the standout Sandra Dickey for Lehigh. So Stein will have an opportunity via 8-meter. And will quickly pass away. Did that the first time. Gives it to Novick. Novick fires. That's off the mark. Had a real quick cut to head towards the shooting space and unable to get the finish, but Leopards keep possession. Lafayette trying to isolate some space here for Cunningham. Has a goal like this before. This time it's saved by Seiji. Rebound goes to Lehigh. That was a good play on the roll dodge by Olivia Cunningham, but Sam Seiji up to task. Able to stick that cross out to knock it down. Lehigh clears successfully. Now with an opportunity to equalize. Hands get free, shot wide, try to go about face against Lacey. Backed up by the Mountain Hawks. No goals so far by either impact player from our pregame coverage. Novick for Lafayette and Dickey for Lehigh, but still early, about 12.5 minutes in, 3-2. Lafayette leads. And no qualms right now for Lehigh. They like to have more of a set offense, slow down the pace. Lafayette, they like to ramp up the pace on both sides. Roll to get free, and the shot goes through. That's one from Caitlin Quinn, a senior from Huntington, New York, to tie it up at 3. Hard roll. Kind of forced a back step by Ely Sashford, and that got the hands free. As you can see, second goal of the season for Quinn. Heavy involvement over her first 3 seasons with Lehigh, but was limited to 8 games this season, missing an early portion of the year. Previously had a goal against Boston University. But on the board here, Quinn's overall high in terms of year-to-year in goal scoring, 14 as a sophomore. No foul called there, a little bit of an incidental collision, and there's a Mountain Hawk down. Mountain Hawk down for Lehigh. Not sure if there was incidental contact to the head for Maggie Kelly, but the freshman quickly to her feet. And she's been one of the key players on the draw unit. Ooh, goodness. Definitely incidental contact, knee to head for Kelly. Well, I'm not a doctor, but quickly fixing your hair and doing that sort of head motion, you're probably okay if you're able to do that. Dr. Dauber. But Lafayette either way in attack after Colleen Bannon got the draw control. And Lafayette leading 6-1 in that statistical category. Trying to get the lead back. Bannon patiently surveys, passes away. Hard cut by Stein, peels back. Novick pumps, cuts. Tries to go middle, cuts again, fires. The shot clanks off the pipe. Not sure if Seiji got a piece of it first, but Lehigh has to defend again as Lafayette gets the rebound and has a fresh 90. Very nearly back to a Leopards lead. Nearing the midway point of this opening stanza. Kirby by her defender. The shot, though, that's no good. And Seiji with another save. Second of the game, each keeper now. 2 saves, 3 goals allowed. Lafayette, though, with a 10-6 shooting advantage. They haven't been able to get the shot on goal percentage that they want. On the season, 42.4% in terms of shots made. Opponents 40.5. Although in the 3-game losing streak for Lafayette, they've actually outshot LIU, Brooklyn, and Army West Point. And those are frustrating losses for different reasons. LIU Brooklyn was a non-league game, but one that the Leopards were quite honestly rusty in the first half before getting better in the second. Army West Point game, obviously a Patriot League loss, and that was just by 2 goals. Could come down to a close margin today. 15 on the shot clock for Lehigh. Hands get free, but that's an easy save for Quinn Lacey. Shot from distance. Not much room to drive for Mary Ellen Karen, and that's the 3rd save for Lacey. Lehigh heads the other way, past midfield. Ashford finds a pass far side to lead to an easy clear. 5 of 5 start for Lafayette. Stein, behind goal line extended. Finds the pass, the shot, though knocked down. Rebound for Lafayette. That was a blocked shot attempted by Jane Kirby. Novick looking for her first goal of the game. Into traffic. Again, a shot no good. Rebound once again to Lafayette. They're winning the ground balls and they have a fresh 90. Novick quickly fell to the turf, but there's no foul called either way against Lehigh for a charge. Here, though, we're going to see one. And it sets up an 8-meter for Novick. Look at this first shot. Oh, she just fell down cleanly. No charge there, no foul. She tried to lean a little bit forward and lunge to the left and lost her balance. Great job by our production crew providing that replay. The extra pair of eyes up here in the booth. Lafayette opted not to shoot on the free position and lose the ball. Lehigh's defense starting to tighten up. Ball on the ground here, but scooped up by Dickey. Past midfield, but not yet clear past the restraining line. And now it will be. Lehigh trying for its first lead, and they find the opening at the doorstep. It's 4-3 Mountain Hawks. Might have been a bit shaky to start, but now they're starting to feel it, and it's the second. No, that's the first goal of the game for the junior Christine Balestra. Product of Perkiomen Valley High School, 5th tally of the season. Had 4 goals, 4 assists last year as a sophomore. Now 5 goals and 3 assists this year as a junior. So 12-14 left to go in this first half. Puckett with the assist for Lehigh. Balester with the goal, and Colonel with the draw control. Another one for Lafayette at 7 of 8. They've been able to find the shooting advantage as a result, but now they need to get back ahead on the scoreboard. Stein. Rolls, tries to get free, nothing there. We'll set up again. Lehigh doing a good job of guarding the 8-meter as of late. They protect the drive from Bella Alampi. Now it's Kirby's turn. Turns the shoot and scores. Great effort by Jane Kirby, persistent to tie it up at 4. We're going to see her try to switch hands on the carry. That didn't work. And then why not kind of go a roundabout way and streak to the side to shoot. That's the second goal of the game for Kirby. And again, did not score against Loyola. Was limited to just 3 shots. Not a season low. She, in fact, had just 1 shot, which was a goal against American. But Kirby had multiple goals scored in her first 8 games of the season. This one here, her 11th game with multiple goals scored. Lafayette would love to keep the draw control advantage rolling here. They started off so well against Loyola on Saturday. It got closer to break even by game's end, but they really have found something here with the draw control unit that's made them a potential dominant force as they make it 8 out of 9. Stein with the shot. That's off the mark. Save, I believe, credited to Seiji. And Lafayette trying to get another effort. Foul, though, called. It was right at the doorstep. Ball was on the ground, but a whistle. And we'll see here Kirby. They're going to say kind of a little crossbar, so to say, from Alexandra Latta to set up this 8-meter. And Jane Kirby, who is slated to have that 8-meter, trots to the sideline. Not exactly sure what the issue is. Looks like a cut by her right knee. And the officials will allow that for now and probably head back out on the field. But no, they're going to say now she needs to be substituted for. Kirby obviously 4th in free position goals per game. Wanted to get that shot opportunity instead. To replace her will be Lizzie O'Brien, the sophomore. O'Brien cuts, feeds away. Novick didn't have room on the drive. Will pass it to X. And we have another foul. This time off ball. Looks like Cunningham will be awarded the 8-meter. Saturday in her hat trick against Loyola, 2 of her 3 goals came from the free position. Goes forward, waits, fires. Shot, though, no good. Rebound by Lehigh. We're going to look at the replay here. And had the patience, just couldn't get the finish forward. Back the other way, a turnover by Lehigh. Sam Sagey up to 5 saves for the Mountain Hawks, but might have to quickly defend again as Lafayette looks to transition. And it's Kinney. Cuts through 2 and gets the clear. And there's a yellow card. Yellow card assessed. We'll see if we can take a look at the replay to see if it was a swipe near Kinney's head, which if it goes over that quote-unquote halo above the head, that's usually enough for a yellow card and a 2-minute advantage. They called it on Kelly Goff, this number 13, trailing from behind. A little bit tough to tell because she was coming from behind, so either way, Lafayette man up for 2 minutes. And the Leopards need to take advantage here. Try to get the lead back heading into the under 10. Tight start to this one, so every possession is likely going to matter. And we're going to have another whistle inside that arc. Allie Hickey, the junior from Needham, Massachusetts, has the 8-meter coming up. Lehigh's been very strong defensively, defending these spots, but they're down a player. And we see how they adjust the Leopards to this. Novick keeps trying, shot low, but saved by Sagey. And a foul called against Bella Alampi for trying to jar that ball loose. That was Dickey on the defense and really did a good job against Novick. Just couldn't shake the defender to drive enough forward, and Sagey had enough time to drop the stick. Actually, it was a foul against Lehigh. So Lafayette keeps possession. And that's an important correction to note. Pass gets knocked down. Hickey draws the foul. Well, this is right now a scrappy possession for this Lehigh defense. They're just trying to do whatever they can to slow down Lafayette. Hickey drives forward, waits, can't get the shot off cleanly. It was blocked from behind. Rebound, though, to Lafayette. Still plenty of time, man up. And another whistle. Well, this has got to be tough for the Mountain Hawks to defend. Tougher angle here. This is probably better to pass. Lafayette, though, will stretch it out, not have multiple players set at the post. Loyola did a good job against Lafayette doing that on Saturday. Kirby drives. Pass up top to X. 40 on the shot clock. Kelly Goff still sitting out the 2-minute penalty, and Lafayette breaks through. Anna Stein with the goal to make it a 5-4 lead. Well, you got to be patient if you're Lafayette. Lehigh's defended free positions very well, so you look for different routes. A little hesitation, and the burst driving forward by Anna Stein. Turn on the jets and fire high. And that's the 16th goal of the season for the sophomore Anna Stein, who had 11 as a freshman. So Lafayette back ahead. The score 5-4 in favor of the Pards. We'll head off to a quick break. More after this on the Lafayette Sports Network, presented by the Patriot League Network on Stadium. Allison Fisher, head coach for the Leopards. You see her making some notes. Does a great job with this team. And right now ahead by 1 in what's been so far a nip and tuck affair at Fisher Stadium. Fisher the head coach, Fisher the stadium. And we have the draw control coming up here, and Lehigh has yet to slow down Lafayette in this crucial aspect of the game. Colonel's been red hot over the past week. It's a race to the far sideline, and Bella Alampi helps out. She races forward. Quick pass away to Kirby. Near side to Novick. And although Lehigh has struggled controlling draws, what they've done well is quickly mark up Lafayette and not allow quick shots after winning possession. Novick tries the hard cut, has been again defended by Dickey. Ball on the ground here, and it's turned over. Haven't yet heard much offensively from Sandra Dickey, but I mentioned during pregame, and a reason why she's impact player for this broadcast is she gets the job done both sides of the ball, and today, right now, her defense has been monumental for Lehigh to keep it within 1. Lafayette with a 17-8 shooting advantage, but what Novick does so well is cut to get free. And as of right now, she's been silent. Novick has scored in all but 1 game in her career. However, the last game here at Fisher Stadium did not see Novick score until literally the final second of the game. Catch and shoot attempt, and that gets through. A little reach high to make sure the pass was secured, and then the finish left side to tie it up at 5. Nifty reception attempt by Goff, and that's her second of the game. Hennig didn't have much space to pass, but a quick flick. That was also a good feed. Hennig for Lehigh, 78 career assists, so you know she can get the job done helping out her teammates. So Goff 2 today, 23 on the year. And now we'll see what happens with this draw control. Crucial one for Lehigh after Lafayette had 9 of the first 10. And the Mountain Hawks will look to get their second lead of the game. Lafayette scored the first 2 goals of this game. Lehigh fought back to grab a 4-3 lead. Lafayette had 2 in a row before the Goff goal. And let's see how this Lehigh attack tries to get its second lead of the game. Drive forward, there it is, a finish. Looked like contact inspired the fall into the crease. And it's 6-5 Mountain Hawks. That's a goal scored by Dickey, her first. First time that Del Priore got beat on a shot, and yeah, she just fell into the crease there, but took it before having the shot. And there you see goal number 44 of the season for Sandra Dickey. Been a great job, though, so far by Del Priore. As that was just the first shot by Dickey. We're talking nearly 24 minutes into a game, a player that's been averaging 5 shots on goal per game for the first shot period. Well, good to see Maggie Kelly back on the field for Lehigh at the draw circle after taking some incidental contact on an earlier draw in the game from our own teammate Dickey. On the run. Nice scoop by Colleen Bannon. Bannon, Davey, Colonel, Olampi all can work on that unit to help out the cause. And so Lafayette trying to equalize in this possession. Look at this 1v1 defense. Cunningham commits the offensive foul. Lehigh is just not being beaten by the cuts right now. And drawing that foul was Jenna Garden, the freshman. Freshman be freshman there. But Lehigh now with the clear, racing ahead, forces a rotation. Aggressive pass a little bit high, intercepted out of the air by Annalise Kinney. She races ahead, pass beyond midfield. Novick with the clear. She continues forward, peels back to open space near wing, and gives it away. That last turnover by Lehigh, just his 4th of the half. Loyola against Lafayette on Saturday had single digits for the game. So Leopards might have to make some adjustments, as the last 5 halves they haven't been able to get quite the amount of caused turnovers that they want to have. But here, free position coming up for Caroline Colonel. And the freshman will try to tie things up, the product of Ridgefield, Connecticut. Assesses where the defenders are at, waits for the whistle, and fires a shot, snipes it home. Took maybe a half step forward and gets on the board to equalize this score, 6 apiece. That's the 8th goal of the season by Caroline Colonel. Dropped that stick a bit, maybe looked like she might go low, finished high and right. And very much like Olivia Cunningham, Caroline Colonel, late in her freshman campaign, really starting to figure things out and hit her stride. Was a 3-sport athlete at Ridgefield. County champion and state champion runner-up in her time at Ridgefield High. Had 279 career draw controls as a high school student athlete. And here we see a draw control deep in the defensive territory for Lehigh. Long looping pass, one hopper, still received well. A little bit of a running start forward as Emma Novick overcommitted. And finally the pass off by Emma McGillis. It's been McGillis, Garden, Latta, and Claire Keller, the defensive 4, along with the two-way midfielders that have tried to slow down this Lafayette attack. Doing a solid job, limiting Emma Novick without a goal so far. 3.5 to go, tied at 6. The Lehigh offense has struggled this season to find scoring depth beyond Sandra Dickey. And although Dickey limited to just one shot so far today, the Mountain Hawks have dispersed their goal scoring very well, and they get another one here. And you can make it 7-6 on a second by Caitlin Quinn. Yeah, Dickey coming in 43 goals. Second on the team was Goff at 21. 3 after that with 10. And although Lacey tried to cut off the angle of the shot, Quinn with a second. Yeah, so you look at Dickey coming into the game, accounting for 34% of the scoring offense between her and Goff. Over 50% at 51. But they've spread it out well, the Mountain Hawks. Give them credit. Despite the face guarding by Del Priora, and those are the adjustments you need to make to win this type of game. Foul called here. Bit delayed after the ball was lost by Bannon. It looked like her path was obstructed, and she now has an 8-meter coming up. Bannon takes the shot low, clanks off the pipe, but right back to Jane Kirby. So unlucky with the pipe, lucky on the rebound. I guess you can call it even. Fresh 90 for Lafayette, down by 1. Novick again, guarded by Dickey. Finds the open space and scores. Had enough space to charge forward against Dickey and just found enough on the cut to tie it up at 7. There wasn't much, to be honest, but Novick was ready just for that little slip to get the left hand to drive it forward. And Emma Novick second on the team in goal scoring this season, 36 on the year. It's career goal 162 for her stellar career with Lafayette. A product of New Canaan, Connecticut, has scored a goal in 63 of 64 career games. Next up for her, if she can score again, it'll be the 18th consecutive game with multiple goals scored. And again, she's done it mostly this season with carrying drives like that. This is out of bounds. They're going to award it to Lehigh. No, to Lafayette. Oh, it was correct. It was Lehigh, but Lafayette started quickly. The officials, though, didn't notice it for a split second there. I would think they would have been quicker on that, and now there's a discussion. Much ado about nothing. And indeed, it's Lehigh possession. It's now 11-4. Lafayette advantage for draw controls. But Lehigh, despite being outshot 20-11, even with Lafayette, 10 of their 11 shots have been on goal for Lafayette, just 13 of 20. That's definitely the one thing that Lafayette needs to fix in the second half. .65% shots on goal for the game for Lafayette, 75.1 for the season. Their opponent 75.3, Lehigh over 90% so far, and as soon as I say that, drop that down to 83.3 on a shot high and wide. 10 out of 12 for Lehigh shots on goal. Minute 10 left to go. 25 on the shot clock, though, so chance for Lafayette to have a possession here, and they concede an 8-meter. A bit too early on the swipe downward, and Sandra Dickey has a free position coming up. Lily Bedell on the foul, so it wasn't face guarding by Del Prior, and Dickey takes advantage. Free position, 10 of 25 coming into the game. Notches one there to make it 8-7, Mountain Hawks. And then I'll turn the shot clock off. Just too much mustard on the shot by Dickey for Lacey to get to it. So 2 goals by Dickey on just 2 shots. In fact, I want to talk about scoring distribution by Lehigh, which has not been what they've typically done this season, but they've been impressive so far today. 13 shots. The shooting leaders, you have 5 different players with 2 shots, 3 different players with 1. Very good balance by Lehigh in this game, and that's got to make Jill Redfern very happy. It's Lafayette controlling the draw, though, and they have a chance to even up the score before the half. Colonel charged forward, but didn't have free space to shoot. And we'll have a late whistle as Jen Rowan try to push it forward. Draws the foul. Jane Kirby cuts to get their left hands free and scores with 31 seconds left to go. We're tied at 8, and Kirby, shaking off the scoreless effort from Saturday, was a decoy much of the game against the Greyhounds, has a hat trick to get to 40 goals on the season here. And you're going to see the ability to switch hands to then go left on the finish is very impressive.
31 seconds on the clock. Kirby unassisted.
So a hat trick today for Jane Kirby. And for her stellar career, that marks a total of 35 for her career. Had 13 each as a sophomore and a junior. And it's her 9th this year as a senior. Lafayette has to move back a little bit after controlling the draw, but still a chance for one more shot, and now maybe the lead as Bannon passed the restraining line. 15 seconds left to go. There's still time to move the ball. Down to 10. Kirby. Guarded pretty well. 5 now to go. Forces a pass, catch and shoot. That's off the mark. And that'll do it for the first half of action. And these two rivals are deadlocked through 30 minutes. Back and forth we go. Lafayette had leads of 2-0 and 3-1, but since then it's been either a tie game or a 1-goal differential. We'll head off to break. Our halftime report coming up. We'll look at stats, highlights, the Patriot League standings, and more. For your score through 30 minutes, Lafayette 8, Lehigh 8. You're watching the Lafayette Sports Network, presented by the Patriot League Network on Stadium. Well, we have a tie game through 30 minutes, and somebody's got to be the hero in this one. We're going to find out what happens here in the second half of action. Lafayette and Lehigh even through a half hour. Still another half hour to go. Caroline Colonel helping to lead a dominant draw unit for Lafayette in the first half of action. She'll be in the draw circle for the Leopards. And Maggie Kelly, the Lehigh freshman, has duties as well. We're all ready to go for the second half of action, and we're back underway Bella Alampi in traffic. Controls the draw. Lafayette looking to set up their attack. Stein tosses it up top, trying to find some space for Jane Kirby. Kirby stops. Rotation was there, didn't allow the hands to get free to shoot, but that means Novick might have an opportunity. Shot goes high. Interesting to see differences in matchups and how they affect each of the respecting top scorers for Lafayette. Here, though, hands free for Stein. That shot's no good, and a rebound picked up in the air before it got to the back line. Lehigh has it. Well below season average in terms of shot on goal percentage for the Pards. And again, that's something they're going to have to adjust in the second half to greatly help their odds of winning, because they held the shot advantage. 23-13 right now, but just 14-11 in terms of shots on goal. Clear is good. It's Jenna Garden who picked up the ground ball for Lehigh. Part of that defensive unit that has been able to force that below average shot on goal percentage. Lehigh is going to get going now. Drive right through the middle. The shot, though, saved, and the rebound picked up by the Leopards. Allie Hickey with the stop. I mean, this is right up the middle, and although Quinn Lacey didn't get a clean read off the rebound, Hickey did, and the Leopards, who are perfect clearing in the first half, with another one here. 8 of 8 now to start things off in this game. Stein looking for someone to get open. Leopards run an off-ball play, try and find some space for the pass. Instead, Stein will just softly toss it up top to Jane Kirby. Kirby gets the hands free and snipes it home. Her 4th of the game, and Lafayette once ahead, up by a goal. So Jane Kirby finishing high, full head of steam. And with that forward momentum, good luck trying to stop the shot if you're Sam Sagey. So now up to 41 goals on the season for Kirby. A legacy player here at Lafayette. If you try to connect the dots, Alan P. Kirby, Jane Kirby, yes, from the same family tree. And the Kirby family of the Five and Dime fame. The old Five and Dime shops, not too many of them around the nation, but you might, in certain downtown areas, find a few. Always good to still see some of them around. But it's back to a Lafayette lead. Up by 1, 9 to 8. And a race backwards, Colonel. A race forward, I should say. Colonel getting the draw control. Had a season high Saturday. Not on pace to break that so far today, but 15-4 as a team. It's been a dominant performance. Winning draws. Quick job to get the ball back after eyes were briefly off the ball, trying to receive the pass. Far wing. Now up the middle. Bella Alampi harassed, and a pickpocket from behind by Sandra Dickey. Alampi charging back. Tries to slow up Dickey. And that at least allows the defense to mark up players and not allow a transition shot. Dickey does so many things well. Calls turnover and ground ball there. 2 caused turnovers, a draw control, 2 ground balls, 2 goals. And truly one of the best players in the Patriot League last year. As a sophomore, Dickey, Patriot League first teamer, all region second teamer. Likely on her way to at least duplicating that this season. So Lehigh with the needed stop, being down by a goal now, trying to tie up the score. Ball on the ground here, though, and a whistle a bit late. Maybe kind of a push afterwards. Either way, free position coming up. Probably just a late whistle. There were a few little taps by Bella Alampi. And we'll see what happens here with the free position. One hopper, and that gets through. Didn't have a whole lot of velocity behind it, but just enough to tie the score at 9. And so the goal scored by Hennig. And it just seems like neither team can find those stops when ahead to extend the lead. Hennig's second. Definitely a capable scorer. That's now 80 career goals for her, but particularly in the last 2, she's been more noted for her ball distribution and assisting. Each side with 4 free position shots today. And it's another Lafayette draw control. Well, if you're struggling in one area, which right now is the shot on goal percentage, you can certainly help your cause by just creating basic shot volume. And the way you do that is control the draw and get possession right back. Must win for both of these teams. Feed to Davey. Davey fires a little flat-footed off the mark. If that was a goal, it would have been certainly a highlight effort by the senior. Ball on the ground. Contact from behind, which leads to a foul. So a restart for Jane Kirby and the Leopards. Cut towards the post, defended well, tossed up top, and a foul. So free position coming up now with a chance to get the lead back for Lafayette. Caroline Colonel will have the opportunity. Already has a goal via free position to start in the first half. Shot no good. They're going to say backed up by Lehigh. So that's a much needed stop for the Mountain Hawks. Defending the 8-meter, and they've done that again so well this season. Clear is good. And so now a chance to get the lead. We have some finals from earlier today in the Patriot League. Navy takes down American by a 20-10 score, and Army West Point takes down Colgate by a 12-9 score. So Army West Point and Colgate now both 4-3. Navy with the win, 6-1. American falling to 1-6. Feed in traffic, the catch and shoot finish is in. And Lehigh back ahead by 1. It's been a gritty effort by the Mountain Hawks. Not a whole lot of opportunities for Sandra Dickey, but others getting involved, and that was a beautiful cut to the open space. And the finish by Goff. First Mountain Hawk to a hat trick today. Now 24 on the season. Did not score in her first 2 games of the season. Now has 24 in her last 11. By the way, the assist by Courtney Hennig, who now has 2 goals and 2 assists, the team leader in points. And a draw control for Lehigh. Dickey charges up ahead. Quick pass. Second one coming up, nothing there. Extra rotation, skip pass though. Not completed on a clean opportunity. And Lehigh will have to slow it down. Very nearly. They had an opportunity to go tic-tac-toe for their first multi-goal lead of the game. And it's going to be very tight down the stretch. Timeout to be called here by Jill Redfern and the Lehigh Mountain Hawks. It gives us an opportunity to head to a break. Yeah, stay tuned to this one. It's just a 1-goal difference between Lafayette and Lehigh.
Our future is bright.
Our future is strong.
Safe.
Healthy.
Inquisitive.
Our future is now.
When you give to United Way, you build a brighter future for all. Join us as we tackle our community's greatest challenges. Give today for a brighter tomorrow. Learn more at unitedwayglv.org.
Our future is united.
Ripped down, Malik Ham. Can he get to the outside? He's got the corner, and that's a touchdown. Now looking for some running room. Oh my! What a hit!
Back and forth we continue to go. In this matchup, Lehigh 10, Lafayette 9 the score with 22:53 left to go. And the second half of action. So we've had a total of, let's see here, 7 ties. We've had even a few lead changes along the way. I think 4, now 5 after that last goal by Kelly Goff, but a timeout by Lehigh. And so out of the timeout, they try to make it a multi-goal lead. Lafayette doing a great job of protecting the doorstep on this possession. Finally a shot opportunity. It's denied by Lacey, and there's a hold called against Lehigh. So Lafayette with the stop. And now they'll look to clear. We've mentioned the Patriot League scoreboard, but can also look at some of the more notable out-of-town scores outside of the Patriot League lacrosse dynamic. Lafayette softball ended up having a split against New Jersey foe Monmouth, winning the second game 7-2. And of course, maybe you have heard that the 150th anniversary for Lehigh baseball was celebrated earlier today against Lehigh. Unfortunately a loss, but the Leopards still 2 ahead of the Mountain Hawks with the season series and tiebreaker in their favor. Murray Janser trying to tie things up for the Leopards. With the feed, but a little bit off the mark. Several players charged to the far sideline. Lafayette might have had the ball momentarily, but then a foul after the ball was lost. Lehigh with possession. Elsewhere in terms of women's lacrosse action, there was a big matchup in the Ivy League between two ranked teams. Princeton took down Penn. Here's a turnover. We'll get back to that a bit later. As Lafayette able to use the ride to create the turnover. 12 of 15 clearing now for Lehigh. A shot attempt to tie. No good. Rebound, though, to Lafayette. They've had at least 4, maybe 5 offensive rebounds after shots that either hit the post, that one did, which I think that's a third, or shots that were saved by Sam Seiji. Got to be fair to Lafayette. We've talked about the shot on goal percentage, but the shots that hit the post don't count, although it's a fresh shot clock. It's a little bit of tough luck. You beat the keeper, but you don't beat the pipe. Colonel losing the ball, and it's a turnover for the Leopards. Novick trailing, tries a few swipes, and she'll get called for the foul. Clear is good for Lehigh. Hannah Cermak calls the Caroline Colonel turnover. And Emma McGillis got the clear. It's been a bit quiet for Cermak, who's the team leader in assists. So team leader in assists has no assists right now. The team leader in goals has 2. But again, Lehigh, a scrappy team effort. You knew that this game was going to be scrappy. It's Lafayette-Lehigh. And as a result, it's a 1-goal differential. Under 30 seconds. And yet Lehigh just now starting to run the play on offense. The shot is saved. Heavy rebound. Grabbed by Lafayette. Big stop again as Quinn Lacey there to deny the shot by Sandra Dickey. And the ball on the ground here. And that's the first failed clear for Lafayette. Right back to Lehigh. And the clear good. Well, there's been a bit of a struggle here for the Lafayette attack as of late. There's only been a combined 3 goals in the half so far through nearly 12 minutes of action. And every stop gonna be key. Lehigh content, controlling the pace here. Slowing things down, going low into the shot clock. Been more than 6 minutes without a goal. Feed at the doorstep. The shot is saved as Lacey comes charging out. Dangerous here to try to get the clear. Ball on the ground. Trouble for Lafayette and a foul called. Much needed help here for the Leopards. Anytime you have the keeper have to come out to grab that rebound and that type of traffic, it's very tough for the clearing unit to get the spots they want. Now a little bit more typical in their clearing attempt. Lily Bedell will find the space, and the clear is successful. Jen Rowan waved off the pass intended for her. Instead, Bedell gave it to Bella Olampi. Now the desired 7 in attack for the Leopards. Down by 1. Olampi drives forward. Did not have a bit of lane to shoot there. Kirby from the far wing. Stops. Rotation is there on the slide. Pass gets knocked down. It's scooped up by Lehigh. Both sides exchanging stops as we've now gone more than 7 minutes without a goal. Defensive adjustments for sure here. There's a little bit too much contact. Either it's going to be against Hickey or Kinney. They kind of converged. Now look at the replay here. That's probably, honestly, both, but first, obviously, Hickey. Indirect free position, so that leads to a pass by Lehigh. Lehigh is hoping to overcome an 0-5 start in Patriot League play to make the tournament. A win today greatly helps their cause with Bucknell and American left. It's at Bucknell on Saturday, and then to close things out next week, home against American. Lafayette, their next game at a ranked Navy team. That'll be a tough out for sure, and then they finish things off home against Colgate. Somehow the roll dodge leaves the open space, but the ball on the ground, and it's scooped up by Quinn Lacey. Her pass mishandled because there's enough defense there, and then there's a foul called, and it's actually going to go against Lafayette. Lehigh has ramped up the pressure on the ride in the last 5 to 10 minutes, and Amelia Heisler gets called for the foul. It's another failed clear. They've had a pair in the last handful of minutes, have the Leopards. And we're past the midway point of the second stanza, still a 10-9 deficit. Lehigh has 17 and 19 shots on goal in this game. Quinn Lacey, 7 saves. Dickey gets a running start. Got it pretty well, a little give and go, ball on the ground. Scramble to win it here, and Hickey gets the ground ball. I've seen a little bit of an adjustment. At times, there hasn't been the face guard on Dickey, but it ends up working out in Lafayette's favor. Kinney utilizing that speed big time. Gets the clear. She's been so good this season at that. Can't say it enough. Kirby, tough angle to shoot, and gets it through. Oh, it didn't look like she had a chance at first, but hey, she's one of the top scorers in program history for good reason. Her 5th of the game, and we're knotted up at 10. Jane Kirby, what an impressive performance. Finishes high, just enough to sneak that up top over the sophomore keeper for Lehigh, Sam Sagey. So 5 in the game, 42 on the season, and now 156 for Kirby's career. And she's done it really all in the last 3 seasons. Got her toes wet as a freshman, then as a sophomore, part of a 50 goal scoring duo along with Kirsten Wilhelmsen, as the Leopards won double-digit games and made the Patriot League tournament. Another 50-plus goals last year, and might be on her way to 50-plus this year, depending on how she finishes out the last 13:46 of this game and the final 2 games. But right now, Kirby accounts for half of the team's goals. No other player with multiple goals. The other 5 with a single tally: Stein, Davy, Cunningham, Colonel, and Novick. And after a long time, we see our first draw control in, about 9+ minutes, almost 10. And it's another one for Lafayette, 17 out of 22. Now a chance for a lead. Novick, hard cut. Frees the hands and scores. She's had multiple goals scored in every game she's played this season. Missed the season opener against St. Bonaventure, but since then she's been all reliable, and it's a 11-10 Lafayette lead. That first cut was a hard cut, but that second one is what got her free. Going to the left. And beautifully finished. Wonderful by Novick. And as you see, goal number 37 of the season. That's 163 for her career. And there'll be a timeout called by Lehigh. So we'll head off to break. Lafayette up by 1. You're watching the Lafayette Sports Network presented by the Patriot League Network on Stadium. Emma Novick now has consecutive goals or multiple goals in 18 consecutive games, including each and every one of her now 14 of this 2019 campaign. The senior gives Lafayette the 11-10 lead with 13-14 left to go. That was a timeout before the break called by Lehigh. They have struggled today winning draws, and they're going to need one here. Lafayette scoring 2 goals in just 32 seconds after we win a span of 9 minutes and 47 seconds without a goal, and it's another one for Lafayette. Well, here's where you take control of the game if you're the Leopards. Score some goals, get possession right back on the draw, and give yourself a cushion heading into the final 13 minutes. Anna Stein. Looks to get some off-ball movement here to find a pass, but it's been guarded well by Lehigh. Throws it up top. Novick turns the Jets on. Stops, guarded by 2 players. And they both back off. 40 to go on the shot clock. Olivia Cunningham. Past goal line extended. Turns, rolls, draws some contact, and that's enough for a foul. Might have been a little bit of frustration defensively by Emma McGillis trying to recover there. Ended up bumping Cunningham. And the freshman Olivia Cunningham may have a chance at her second goal of the game. We'll see if she takes the shot. She'll be patient and score. And Lafayette with his first multi-goal lead of the game since it was 3-1 very early. They lead 12-10. Lafayette's last win against Lehigh came at Rappel Field up at the Metzger Sports Complex. It was a 6-5 win in 2013. They score here to get to a 12-goal total, and it's been a while since the Leopards were able to hang a dozen on their arch rivals. They did not surpass 11 goals in the recent string of 10 out of the last 11 by Lehigh. And let's see what happens here, but the last time the Leopards scored at least 12 against Lehigh. 2006, it was a 14-13 game over in Bethlehem. And we've had some close ones in recent years, but they've been more of the low-scoring variety. The 6-5 win in 2013, the 6-4 loss over in Bethlehem in 2016. Lafayette with another draw control. They've been just so good at it. That now makes it 19 of 24. A 19-5 draw control advantage. Caroline Colonel with 8 in this game. Colleen Bannon with 5. So you have one that is beating out Lehigh all by herself, another one tying Lehigh all by herself. And a chance for the biggest lead of the game if Lafayette can score here. Pass from the hip by Colonel. The shot attempt by Stein is saved. Lehigh really needed that stop. Sam Seiji up to task. Cermak with the clear. Drives forward, and there's no foul called. Yeah, that's a turnover. So although Cermak spilled heavily to the floor, you're going to see right here on the replay on the cut. Oh, that's a foul. Hey, if you're Lafayette, you take the break any way you can. And so right now, up by 2, with possession in attack. Kirby has 5 goals. Novick has 2. Cunningham draws extra attention, throws it up top. Should be some free room to run here. The shot gets through, and it's 13-10 with exactly 10 minutes left to go. Boy, you could just see the lane open up, and Anna Stein takes advantage, her second of the game. Boy, you just can't leave that much space. Stein, beautiful one-hopper to get it over Seiji. Stein, most notable for her passing and ball distribution, but credit to Lehigh for not allowing those passes. On the flip side, though, credit to Lafayette because they've been able to create opportunities like that. They have yet to have an assisted goal today, but have 13 goals. Think about that for a second. Great individual efforts by Kirby, by Novick, by Cunningham, by Stein, all with multiple goals in this game. Lehigh in desperate need of a draw control. Lafayette trying to pour it on. And it's another draw control, this time by Colleen Bannon. Lafayette on a 4-goal run. They have not allowed a goal in more than 13 minutes, but a turnover here, a much-needed one for Lehigh. Lafayette needs to mark up here. They won't allow the quick shot in transition, thanks to the defense by Katie DiMarino. And so Lehigh will settle things down here. They work best at a slower pace, but if this 3-goal deficit remains, you're going to have to ramp things up a little bit. It'll be key for the Leopards to mark up Sandra Dickey, who has a pair of goals on 5 shots, all on goal, but has not scored in the second half. Pass leads to a ball on the ground, but a key ground ball pickup for Lehigh. Drive from the far wing by the defender, and the shot gets through. Lehigh staying in it as Hennig with another tally. She has a hat trick to make it 13-11. Caught a little bit flat-footed there defensively, and Hennig took advantage of it. So Hennig now with 3 goals, 2 assists, and a timeout called. Courtney Hennig, a senior from Millstone, New Jersey. And again, very capable scorer, but last year's a junior, second team all Patriot League player, had 24 assists, as a sophomore 29. And then this season with 18, but this is her first hat trick of her senior campaign. 8:43 left to go, a timeout called by Lafayette. It's a 2-goal game. The big factor in this one, obviously the draw controls in favor of Lafayette. You look at the shot advantage, 32-20 for the Leopards, but 11 of those shots have been off goal. Part of the reason I mentioned a bit earlier, none of the 13 goals by Lafayette have been assisted. So what Lehigh has done a good job is protecting off ball movement with cuts right to the doorstep. How Lafayette's countered, obviously besides controlling the draws and taking advantage with shot volume, is they've been able to have some good one-on-one efforts. Lehigh, though, with one before the timeout. And we're going to go right down to the wire here. Lehigh controls the draw here. They have a chance to get it back within a 1-goal game. Little stoppage here. I think there needs to be an adjustment on the field in terms of how many players on for Lehigh. They've gotten that fixed. Now they'll set up the draw. 13-11 Lafayette, must-win game for both sides to keep Patriot League tournament hopes alive. And it's a much-needed draw control for the Mountain Hawks. Sandra Dickey gets the job done. Pushes forward, a little bit of contact by Colleen Bannon will lead to an indirect free position. Attack from the far wing. Thrown up top. Good defense for the Leopards, but an attacker free. Shot no good. Backed up by Lehigh. Mary Ellen Karen. No, make that. Caitlin Quinn was wide open there. Unmarked. Pass in traffic. The skip pass is good and the shot good. It's a 1-goal game. That was done very quickly, and look at that, 2 defenders right there. But just unable to get the swipe down. And that's the 4th goal of the game for Kelly Goff. And Sandra Dickey with her first helper of the game. We look at some of the close losses for Lafayette against Holy Cross much earlier in the season. In fact, the Patriot League opener, the Leopards didn't have a scoring run until the very end when they made it an 11-7 game, 11-10, but Holy Cross had late draw controls to seal the win. There was then a 16-15 overtime loss at Bucknell, which dropped the Leopards to 0-3 in league play. And in that game, Lafayette had a 3-goal lead late, but Bucknell came back to tie. Lafayette had 4 possessions to either grab the lead in the final minute of regulation or win in overtime, but Bucknell got the OT winner. And then, and the 16-14 loss against Army West Point, that one very much went back and forth. But Lafayette kind of running out of time late as Army West Point pulled away, despite being held to 1 goal over the final 16 minutes. Lehigh with a chance to tie. They've had the last, well, they had one of the 2 last draw controls. They had a turnover, and now they have a tie in a very quick scoring spurt. And they do it after the Lafayette timeout to tie it up at 13. Lehigh was held without a goal for nearly 15 minutes. They have 3 in the last minute 43. And there's a timeout called by Lafayette as Goff has her 5th of the game. Kelly Goff ties a season high. We'll head off to a quick break. We're knotted up 13 apiece. You're watching the Lafayette Sports Network presented by the Patriot League Network on Stadium. Lafayette had a 4-goal run. The Lehigh counters with a 3-goal run of their own. And so we are tied 13 apiece. 7 minutes left to go. It has every bit the feel of a rivalry game, every bit the feel of a must-win game. The only question is, who will come out victorious? Kelly Goff's been so huge for Lehigh, but Sandra Dickey assisting each of the last 2 goals. Such a versatile player for the Mountain Hawks. Here's where the Leopards need a clean draw control win and a quick possession in attack. That's another time Lehigh had too many players on the field. They get that adjusted real quick. And we'll have the draw coming up. Oh, so important down the stretch. Possession by possession in the final 7 minutes. Lampe gets fouled. Lafayette with possession. Colonel. Past the restraining line, Leopards have it in attack, just as needed. To quiet down a 3-goal spurt in less than 2 minutes by Lehigh, after the Leopards held the Mountain Hawks nearly 15 minutes scoreless. It was tied at 8 at the half, each side with 5 goals in the second stanza. Each side coming into the game 1-5 in league play. Stein gets a hands free, the shot blocked. Rebound eventually goes inside the crease, and Sam Sagey has it. So Lehigh with the stop. Lafayette again had a 4-goal run to grab a 13-10 lead. Since then, quick job by Lehigh to tie. They have full momentum in their favor. Now a chance to lead. 16 of 19 clearing by the visitors. Stein had her shot blocked the other way, and Jenna Garden had the key ground ball pickup. There was no panic from Lehigh down by 3. I suggested they might need to start thinking about changing the pace if it got tighter. And instead of having to worry about that, they got 3 quick goals. Attacking from the far wing. That's worked out a few times. Roll dodge to get free near the post. Ball on the ground, though. And a foul called. So now here's a chance to lead. And you're going to see Dickey. That is a foul. A bit of a late whistle, but now a chance for the team's leading scorer to get her side the lead. Quinn Lacey's going to have to come up big. 7 saves for the sophomore. Needs 1 here. Dickey trying to get a hat trick along the way. Has scored multiple points in every game this season. Passes instead, and the finish is in. And the last 3 Lehigh goals have been assisted by Dickey. They've been scored by Kelly Goff, who now has 6. There's no stopping number 13 right now. 5:01 left. Just a quick burst by Lehigh. Again, it wasn't too long ago. Lafayette had a 3-goal lead. And it looked like they might have had a chance to gain some much-needed separation when Anna Stein scored with 10 minutes left to go. In less than 5 minutes, it's quickly turned back to a Lehigh lead. A new season high for Kelly Goff. She previously had 5 against St. Francis in a Lehigh win. And there's another draw control for Lehigh. They're starting to step up late in this department. And now they have a chance to dictate their tempo. Lafayette needs a stop here. Under 5 minutes left to go. They ramp up the pressure. And we have a timeout called. Lehigh with the timeout. You look at how many leads they've had and by what margin. They have not led by multiple goals at any stretch in this game, but an opportunity here in the final 5. And of course, that's when it matters the most. Lampe applying pressure, far wing. More aggressive for the Leopards. They want to push the tempo here, win or lose. Not allow things in isolation for Lehigh. Pass at the post, and the shot no good. Scramble to get the rebound. And that's Lafayette. No, not yet. Back to Lehigh. And a fresh 90. Foul called against Lafayette. They've reset the shot clock, so that had to be a save by Quinn Lacey. And we're going to look at the replay of this foul. Just enough there on the little push of the cross by Lily Bedell. But there you see, yes, off the stick of Quinn Lacey. That wasn't blocked, that was saved. But a huge rebound by Lehigh. Feed in traffic and the finish. Dickey now with a hat trick. And the first multi-goal lead of the game on a 5-goal run. Lehigh up 15-13.
Lehigh goal scored by number 18, Sandra Dickey. Her third of the game and 46 this season, assisted by number 6, Whitney Hennig. Her third of the game.
Timeout, Lafayette.
3:19 to play. Timeout, Lafayette.
And unfortunately, this starting to feel like the same script as previous close games in the Patriot League. Credit to Dickey and Goff down the stretch for Lehigh. They've been the 2 best players on the field will keep it here. But if you're Lafayette, you've won 22 of 29 draws. Odds are you get the next possession, but you gotta obviously execute. You get the next goal, you're right back in it. Jane Kirby has 5 goals for the Leopards, and then a trio have 2. But what's going to stand out in this one? Lehigh with 23 of 26 shots on goal. Lafayette 21 of 33. There just has not been enough forced shots from distance for Lafayette. There's been too many close, and especially as of late, too many passes at the doorstep. 7 Lehigh goals have been assisted, none for Lafayette. Then you have, for both Hennig and Dickey, they each have 3 goals and 3 assists apiece. Kelly Goff has 6 shots, 6 goals. She's also had 4 ground balls and 3 caused turnovers. Lehigh has just 8 turnovers all game. They've caused 10 of Lafayette's 14 turnovers. There's been certainly certain things that have gone Lehigh's way, certainly certain things that have gone Lafayette's way. All that matters is how the final 3:19 pan out. Colonel with the crucial draw control. She's harassed, passes backwards. Looks like there might have been an opening for a pass near side. Instead it goes far and the clear is good. So here we go. Lafayette probably needs to score in this possession unless they get a quick turnover if they don't score. Because Lehigh can cut the time in half with their next possession. Novick peels back. Kirby. Nothing there. Gets it away. Novick tries again. Defended well. Gives it away. To the doorstep and the finish. Lafayette back within a goal on the 2nd consecutive hat trick for Olivia Cunningham. She had 3 against Loyola, 3 now here against Lehigh. 15-14 with 2:24 left to go. And a beautiful finish low by Cunningham, the freshman. She's so good at being patient and making the keeper start to move that stick, and then she'll look for her spot to finish. And that was the first assisted goal by Lafayette. Comes from Anna Stein. At a much needed time, much needed juncture. And so now, the draw control. Lafayette wins it, they have a chance to tie. It's going to be a race to the near side. Lafayette gets there first. As they've done throughout the game, they handle business at the draw circle. Pass though off the mark. Scramble for Dulcie Del Prior. Still a scramble. Someone's got to get it. And eventually, it's to the Leopards. And then a foul called. It's a push on Lafayette. Oh my goodness. Under 2 minutes left to go. And we'll look at the replay here. That's a good call. That's a good call. Again, a bit tardy on the whistle, but the correct call. A little bit of body by Amelia Heisler. Helped to get the ground ball, or at least what would have been the ground ball for Elise Ashford. And now, Lehigh can take it under 30 seconds at the worst, unless Lafayette gets the pressure on. Bedell gets blown by, pass behind goal line extended. Lehigh is going to stretch it out. Back in the day, this would be trying to get the clock to 0. Now you're just trying to get the shot clock as close to 0, maybe a shot. Final minute coming up here.
1 minute remaining.
Well, Lafayette had the draw control, but they couldn't get the possession in attack. And that might be what haunts them here. They just have not been able to do enough with the decisive draw control advantage today. Final minute. 17-second difference between game clock and shot clock. Fee, there's a little bit of contact, no foul. Lafayette with 2 to defend, 10 on the shot clock. Pass in traffic, and the finish is in with 22 seconds left. And Lehigh is going to cinch up this win. They were clutch down the stretch, and they go up 16-14. And that finish by Mary Ellen Karen. Courtney Hennig with the assist. Lafayette just could not get the stops defensively. Too many opportunities at the doorstep for the Mountain Hawks. Lehigh keeping their hopes alive with a second win right at the doorstep here. When it comes to Patriot League play at Bucknell, home against American to close. And why not get the draw control to help seal the win? For the Leopards, it's going to be a hard luck. 5-10 overall, 1-6 in Patriot League play. A swipe goes out of bounds, but the time is going to run out. Lafayette had a 13-10 lead with 10 minutes left to go, but Lehigh comes from behind late, and they win 16-14 for the Leopards, their 4th Patriot League loss by just 1 or 2 goals this season. You're watching the Patriot League Network on Stadium.